Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a classic tale that fundamentally challenges how we value the world around us. It's called The Apple Tree and the Farmer, and on the surface, sure, it seems like a simple fable. But underneath, it holds a profound mirror up to our modern obsession with efficiency. We're going to look at what happens when the things we love age, when they stop being productive in the traditional sense, and how easily we can lose sight of what truly matters. So when does something truly outlive its usefulness? Let's dive right into this fundamental question. We're looking at a farmer, a quiet village nestled up in the hills beside a forest, and a very specific tree. This question right here is the absolute driving engine of our story. Is usefulness only defined by measurable output, or is there an unseen value that we often neglect until it's almost too late? To answer that, we really need to understand the history of this farm. Section 1. The Old Apple Tree. This relationship builds so beautifully over time. Think back to his childhood years. The farmer and his friends practically lived under this tree. They played endless games of hide-and-seek around its massive trunk, they climbed its branches, swung from its limbs, and, when in season, gorged themselves on literally the tastiest apples imaginable. For a kid, this tree was the center of the universe. But time marches on, right? The boy grows into a man, takes over the family farm, and starts tending to the vegetables. In its later years, this large, shady tree grows old. It starts producing fewer and fewer fruits. Sure, it still casts a nice shade in the summer, but nothing really grows in the ground beneath it anymore. The physical output of the tree has basically slowed to a halt. But here's the thing. The tree isn't just some dying plant. It's a bustling community hub. It is a vital ecosystem. The apples might have dwindled, but the life force has simply shifted. Many small animals, birds, and insects have moved in. It is literally buzzing with life. And perhaps the coolest part? The farmer's own children and their friends have started playing under it. The tree is providing the exact same magical environment for the next generation. It's a living, breathing neighborhood, right smack in the middle of the farm. Section 2. The Farmer's Decision. Now, this is where we see a sharp psychological pivot. It's the shift from emotional attachment to cold, hard utilitarianism. On one hand, you've got the childhood view, right? Imagination, play, tasty fruit. But on the other hand, the adult view completely takes over his mind. When the farmer looks at the tree now, he doesn't see memories. He sees a math problem. He sees wasted space where he could be growing more vegetables. He sees raw materials, wood that he could harvest to build a new room for his house. So he makes a calculated decision. The tree has outlived its usefulness, and it has to be cut down. The heart has been entirely overruled by the head. And as he grabs his axe, he becomes completely adamant. Meaning, he's refusing to be persuaded or to change his mind. He just entirely closes himself off to his past, completely forgetting his own childhood and his animal friends. He's not thinking about those delicious apples he used to eat or the laughter that echoed through those branches. Nope, his mind is made up. He marches out to the tree, axe in hand, ready to clear the space for progress. Section 3. The Desperate Defense. The very moment the first blow of the axe strikes the trunk, absolute panic sets in. The animals rush down in alarm. They're circling with this huge commotion of chirping and squeaking all over the place. I mean, just imagine the noise, the sheer chaos of it. The farmer raises his axe higher to strike again, and the uproar just gets louder. But remember, he's adamant. He actually begins to chop harder. The desperate little animals are running in frantic circles, trying to create a physical barrier. They just want to protect their home at any cost. Well, all this massive uproar brings the children rushing out of the house. The farmer's daughter and her friends gather around him, and her powerful plea beautifully anchors the ecological message in raw, relatable human emotion. She begs him, saying, "Please don't cut the tree. We play here just like you did. If you cut the tree, where will they go? You can enjoy the shade when you become old. It is a beautiful tree." Notice what she's doing here. She isn't just crying, she's making a brilliant, multi-layered argument. She appeals to his empathy for the animals, she appeals to his own future comfort in old age, and most sharply, she holds up a mirror to his own past, reminding him that they are playing exactly as he once did. Section 4. The Fruit of Memory. Amidst all the shouting and the chirping, the farmer pauses. He notices a small fruit hanging from a branch. Almost instinctively, he reaches up, plucks it, and takes a bite, and it looks just as delicious as the ones he ate as a boy. The second he tastes it, the dam breaks. The memories of the fun he had as a child come rushing back in this overwhelming wave. It's a profound sensory trigger. And suddenly, just like that, the spell of cold efficiency is broken. He drops the axe. His internal realization is broadcast instantly through a totally changed expression. Seeing his face soften, his daughter immediately senses the shift and pleads even harder. She realizes that the stern, pragmatic man who only wanted lumber and vegetable space is gone. He's suddenly replaced by the boy who used to play hide and seek around that very trunk. The armor of adulthood has cracked wide open. Section 5. A Promise for Tomorrow. The farmer finally truly understands the tree's intrinsic value. He sees that it's a home to lovely animals, providing them with shelter and life. But more than that, he realizes he wants his little girl to have the exact same magical childhood that he had. He throws the axe away completely, making a beautiful promise. He says, "I promise that I will never cut this tree. You and your friends will have your tree and your playground." He chooses to value the unseen, the memories, the joy, the ecosystem, over the measurable output of lumber and land. So I'll leave you with this final thought. It's a way to consider how we might balance cold efficiency with memory, community, and intrinsic value in our own modern lives. Ask yourself, what apple trees are we too quick to cut down? In our daily pursuit of productivity, optimization, and making room for the new, what beautiful, life-giving spaces, relationships, or old habits are we approaching with an axe simply because they don't seem useful anymore? It's a powerful reminder to occasionally pause, take a bite of the apple, and remember what truly matters. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking questions, and I'll see you next time.